Hey, everybody out there. I'm sitting in a parking lot at Walmart. Hey, I just wanted to talk to anyone in the South, especially in Texas. Um, God, I'm so tired. Okay. Some of you guys know that there's a big freeze that's about to happen and all of that. Well, I don't know how many of you lived through that or didn't live through that horrible ice storm back in February of, what was it, 2021, I think. Anyway, it was 2021. The one where they killed the power for like damn near a week in sub-zero temperatures. Well, I sure did live through that, and barely. And I mean, one of my animals had a stroke. Like, I mean, I still have like trauma. Like, if I get like almost pukey just thinking about going through anything like that again. So I've had years to think about that experience because that was the first time in my adult life where I realized that that we're living in a different world. This is a different United States than what I grew up in. It's a different Texas than what I grew up in. So I'm out in rural Texas, and I want to say this very quickly. And I know a lot of people on TikTok are like, I got insider information. Okay, here's the deal. I kind of do, and I can't say who it is, obviously, or what company / position he holds, but let's just say it's pretty high up there. And this person, who I was able to pick his brain, I'm trying to be very careful about how I say this because I do not want to get anyone in trouble. So, I said, are they gonna pull the power again? Like, is that what's gonna happen? So he said, not in this first freeze. That's not when this is gonna happen. Like with the power, he said, I think we're gonna be cool there. He goes, but just to give you a little tip, and he said, we get a lot of satellite information that the public does not get right away. And so there was a big meeting with a lot of the electric co-ops and all of the, regional electric companies in Texas and blah, 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 that everybody was sent the same memo. And to all the service workers and engineers that basically get all your diesel fuel, get everything, get all the emergency vehicles tuned up, get them ready to go. Not for what's coming in the next few days, but for what's coming apparently at the end of January. So the projections that he has received are stating that it will be -6 degrees, -3 to 6 degrees in most of Central and North Texas. And then South Texas, you're talking a high of 20 and very strong winds, lots of ice, lots of all that. And he said, and then you can bet your ass that they're going to kill the power. And I said, I've grown up in Texas my whole life. We have our own grid. It's never happened. I've been in terrible snowstorms before and we never lost power. So he said, well, the deal is, he goes, they shut down all the coal plants, so there's that. So we're not getting that. He goes, but the real deal is that ERCOT is that any company who doesn't obey what they say. So this is how the February 2021 disaster happened. And if you look up the numbers of how many people died, how many livestock and pets died during that time, that's why our Attorney General sued ERCOT, was because of bad calls that happened. So they would put the squeeze on the smaller electric companies and co-ops out in rural Texas, which is that's your heartbeat of Texas. That's where your food comes from. That's where, you know, if you're sitting in Dallas and Austin and you're really enjoying, you know, all of your farm fresh food and going out to eat and blah, 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 and your steaks and all that stuff, well, it's coming from rural Texas. That's a fact. So, anyway, ERCOT basically has to keep their nose clean on paper. Okay? So, if they say rolling power outages, and let's say they say my zip code in Wills Point, like, kill the power there, you know, or if you guys don't shut off the power for 2 days, then we're going to fine you $1 million. Well, then my little tiny co-op that we all buy into can't afford a hit like that. It would literally, I mean, it would destroy them. There would be no more co-op. So they obey the marching orders of this big, giant corporation called ERCOT. Okay? ERCOT reports all of its findings, of course, to Washington, D.C., and it's got to, you know, look very environmentally friendly, and, you know, it's got to pass all the bullshit globalist, like, Green New Deal shit. And, and meanwhile, elderly people and animals and everybody either die or get, frostbite, whatever. We're not used to it in Texas, and we've had 3 years to prepare for some more bullshit like that. So anyway, this guy said, here's a pro tip. He goes, make sure that you've got your shit together for the end of the month. He said, if you're in Texas or you're in any of the lower states, Louisiana, Texas, parts of Oklahoma, that sort of thing, he said, get your shit together. So he goes, you know, you've got some time to get your shit together, but make sure you do. Insulate your windows, you know, get the plastic sheeting and put it all over, you know, wherever there's a draft, whatever in your house. Make sure that you have a way to heat your home if the electricity goes out. Those little camping, you know, heaters, stuff like that use the little bottles of propane, that kind of thing. Your animals, straw, don't use hay. A lot of people want to use hay. Hay mildews and it can make them sick. Don't use hay. I mean, if that's all you got, sure. But get straw, because straw does not mildew, and it is a better insulator for dog houses, chicken coops, goat pens, whatever. You're going to want to do that. You're going to want to make sure that your outside animals, if they have to remain outside, that they are not in the direct contact with the wind when this polar vortex comes in at the end of the month. Now, how they are so sure that that's going to happen, I don't know. Weather weaponization, probably. So just insulate your pipes, make sure that you've got plenty of water, because in my case, 3 years ago, they killed the water and they killed the power for a week. And, I mean, we were living in literally like a van. I mean, we had one friend who had power that we had to drive to, and that was like the sketchiest thing in the world. There was no gasoline anywhere. There was no propane anywhere. So, I saw firsthand how shitty it can be. Just take care of yourselves. Remember that you have to have each other's backs. You know, help your neighbor. If you see somebody that they can't do it themselves, they're older, maybe they've got an injury or something, help them out. Nobody should freeze to death in the state of Texas. Nobody. So that's just my word for the day. I just wanted to let y'all know. I wish I could tell you who this person was and why I believe every word that he said, but I can't. Anyway, so be safe.